All right. Well, I know there'll be people flowing in, but love to get underway as we only have 30 minutes. And this is such a fun and exciting topic, which is, we'd love to introduce you to MeBeBot and show you how we're providing employees with a new digital front door to their employee experience. So what is this all about? Well, right now, we know inside companies, it's very hard for employees at times to find information they need. Many times they're spending countless hours in a workday looking for information that might be in various different systems of record. And so that's taking a lot of different types of time if you have information hosted in SharePoint or your Google Drive, or perhaps in different file folders. And this information that's dispersed is really frustrating to employees, especially when they have a simple question and they just need to get an answer. So, we want to make employees more productive because we know they have questions. Employees have questions. And frankly, today, they're used to using tools like their cell phones to get instant answers and gratification to their questions. So for those of you who are joining, I saw a few more people flowing in. I'm Beth White. I'm the founder and CEO of MeBeBot, and we're introducing you to the digital front door to the employee experience. And so what we're going to talk about today is, frankly, want to dive into a demo. I'm going to just show you 2 slides to kind of set up, what we have to provide you to give you this new digital front door to support your HR, IT, and ops teams. But really, I want you to leave here today understanding how it works, how easy this solution is to launch with inside your business, and the productivity and time-saving value you all will gain. And so we all know the world of work has changed dramatically over the years, and global and hybrid workplaces are frankly where it's at. And employees are needing solutions that support them 24/7 from wherever they are. Additionally, I know that whole word implementation is kind of a bad word at companies because it takes too much time to launch certain systems. So what we want to show you today is how easy it is to get an AI-powered solution to your employee group across the globe in days to weeks. And additionally, the way we are able to do that is I'm going to give you some insights into our knowledge base. So what we've done is we've curated a knowledge base of hundreds of different types of questions with default answers for your employees so that you can see how you can control the answers the employees are receiving as individual business users without technical expertise. So again, quick, easy to get this solution in front of your employees so that you can start saving time immediately. And the best part about it is inside MeBeBot's portal, which I'll show you, you'll be able to see valuable people analytics data. So you can see the types of questions employees are asking, where they're asking these questions from across the globe. And we'll also show you how we extend the solution to provide both push messaging, pulse surveys, and we've launched a new solution called Manager Toolbot to support those unique types of questions that managers ask, that are very different than typical employee questions. And again, the whole goal is to have a solution that launches quickly. And the way we can do this is using that curated library of content. And then we apply a crowdsourced approach to training the overall AI data model so that we ensure accuracy of answers to your employees at launch, which is great. They need a source of information that's not only providing them quick information, but it needs to be accurate. So we'll give you an insights as to how we do that. All right, so we'll go to the next slide here, and then I promise we'll get right into the demo. I'm just giving you an idea of what you're going to be seeing, and then we'll jump into the different various interfaces and then flow back into a little bit of a summary of MeBeBot and allow, if you have time and want to stay and ask some questions, you can at the end, or feel free to put some questions in the chat as well. So the first part of the process is that employees need a way to reach this digital front door. So we have MeBeBot as an app that installs seamlessly inside Slack, Teams, or as a web chat as well. This allows your employees that front door that they're looking for to get all the different types of questions they need answered from HR, payroll, benefits, facilities, IT, we look at the employee as a holistic individual, and why should they have to know who to ask what to? So if they go to MeBeBot, the digital front door, they're able to get those answers to the questions. Secondly, I'll show you how you can control the answers that the employees receive. So this is the ability to actually edit content on demand for employees, because that content changes rapidly. We saw how that worked within the pandemic. People were in office, now they're working home, now they're coming back. Benefits change, payroll policies and remote work policies change. How do you keep up that information to employees? We'll give you access to seeing how that is maintained and managed in a very easy, seamless way for non-technical business users. And then lastly, well, frankly, first, you'll actually see the data that MeBeBot generates, which is super important. I think our customers really love the data because they're able to see how MeBeBot delivers results, and they can quickly see how much time savings MeBeBot has provided their information while they learn insightful information about their people and their needs. Because the whole goal, of course, is to how do we support and elevate the employee experience to make, frankly, work more meaningful. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first I'm going to show Slack, and I think there may have been a little chat going on about how many of you use Slack. But Slack is a collaboration tool that many of you may know of and use. And Slack has apps that you can install into the workplace. So MeBeBot is an app in Slack App Marketplace. We've been vetted by Slack. And frankly, we were the Brilliant Bot of the Month in May and June of last year by Slack app developers. So the first thing that we do is we know that employees live all across the globe. So as your company would onboard with MeBeBot, we would ask you, how many countries are your employees in? And we populate the system so that we can direct content that's very specific to an employee. So if I choose the US as my location, the next thing I'll be asked is if I'm a team member or a people manager, because this gives the ability to have specific information delivered to employees based on their role within inside the company as well. So again, I can say I'm a team member. And as you can see, MeBeBot gives a bit of instructions, and that selection of both the country and the role is really just done the very first time the employee interacts with MeBeBot in Slack. And at that point in time, as an employee, I can frankly use MeBeBot on my cell phone. If I have Slack on my phone, I can talk into it, I can text in it, I can ask questions like, when I'm typing into the interface here, when do we get paid? A lot of people ask payroll questions all the time. It's very important to know when they're going to get paid. And so the ability to drive an answer to an employee that's specific to get them exactly what they need. Frankly, they're looking for, when do we get paid? When am I going to see that paycheck? So they get information about the payroll frequency, a little bit of information about direct deposit. They can see the pay dates, and frankly, they can click on a link that can go to a document that may be in your SharePoint, your Google Drive, that gives the whole company calendar. To have documents appear within as links as MeBeBot, there's no integration necessary. You simply add the the URL to the answer, and it's delivered to the employee. Very easy. But we know employees often have other related types of questions. So if they wanted to see additional information, perhaps they had an issue on their paycheck and they want to know what to do next, there's a way that they can actually follow down related topics to get more information to answers. They can get a particular individual's name that they may need to contact. If you have a department and a general inbox, you can surface that in the answer so that employees can get additional help when they need it. They can also rate the quality of the answer, is what's as helpful or not, and see a little thank you message, which is nice. So that's an example of how MeBeBot works inside Slack. What I want to do is, I know there's probably some Teams users on here, and show everyone how MeBeBot works inside Teams. So again, the greeting would be to find out the country and the role the employee's in. The great thing about Microsoft Teams is the IT departments also can install MeBeBot in about 5 minutes into Microsoft Teams. We're also a vetted app in the Microsoft ecosystem. With MeBeBot in Teams, it can actually be pinned to the side toolbar wherever the company chooses to have it pinned. So it's always available to your employees. And again, we answer all different types of questions, whether it be benefits related. We could answer a question about how do I use the VPN, for example, and that way we can get an answer that's IT related. A lot of people, are using VPNs in this point in time, and so they're returned an answer that's giving them, information about virtual private network is what it stands for. Here's a link that's a knowledge article that will show you more information about how to use the VPN and perhaps information about contacting people if you need help. Again, there's always related topics, and employees have the ability to rate an answer as helpful or not helpful, as I shared before. If they say not helpful, they have the ability to see what a potential escalation path can be. So it can be anything as simple as surfacing an email address for an inbox, or we can tie into ticketing systems if you have ticketing systems to actually produce a ticket. So that's a little bit of insights into the interface for the employee in Slack and Teams. And I know I'm going through things rather quickly. I want to also share with you how we have a web chat as well. Let me just move this little toolbar down. So we have a web chat that installs inside SharePoint pages. Many of our customers can have MeBeBot in multiple locations. And again, the overall goal is to make sure employees have MeBeBot when they have questions, wherever they may be looking for information, which at times may be SharePoint if you're using it for your company intranet. So the magic happens behind the scenes here with MeBeBot's admin portal. So this is what you all, I know a lot of you who registered or in roles from people operations, IT, various HR roles, even facilities. So as you're looking at MeBeBot, you all would be have access to this portal so that you can log in at any point in time and you can actually see, the types of data that MeBeBot is returning to your employees given different time frames. So again, this is our dashboard of usage information. I was just looking at information from last month. However, I can quickly toggle to last week. I can choose a date range. And what I can see is last week, we answered 292 questions. This particular instance has MeBeBot connected to both Slack or to Slack Teams and as a web chat, and that we have a net new person, a brand new employee using MeBeBot that has not used MeBeBot before. Additionally, we can see that we have on January 15th, 57 different people asked 62 questions. And that's what that data shows when I hover. It's great and fun to see all the different people asking questions across the globe. So you can see little snapshots of this information here. And the beauty of MeBeBot is that we are a holistic solution that answers questions for employees in all different types of categories. And you can see those results appear on our dashboard. So you can see the types of questions people asked about, for example, training related. If you wanted to go into some of the IT types of questions that people were asking about, you can hover and see the different specific, what we call intents or question answer pairs that they're asking about. Also at the top, you see you have the ability to export this data as a CSV file if you choose to use the data that way. So very helpful to have all this information in one place. So again, back to where the magic happens. So when employees have questions and you have a lot of answers, I'm sure you've built content, you have knowledge articles or FAQs internally. What MeBeBot is designed to do is allow you to launch a solution very quickly to your employees. And how we do it is this. We have a system we call placeholders. So right now I'm working in content that's US centric. So if I'm someone in owning subject matter expert to the US, I would simply come into the placeholder section and I'd fill out these different variables. So hey, for those of you who are in the know, the IRS increased their amount for 401k this year. So it's as easy as updating the number here, and then it flows through all the answers and to questions that are related to 401k and what you can contribute. Very simple to keep content up to date. You can also use this area to add in different links to documents that might be in other systems. And so first step is fill out the placeholder values that are specific to your business. And then you can kind of watch the magic happen and see all that information flow into the default answers that MeBeBot already has in our system. So I get that people have different questions at different companies, but I spent years in HR myself. And I can tell you that when I went from company A to B to C, they're all about the same types of questions, but what makes it different is your answer. And so we've provided you with these default answers that you simply come in and edit the answer to the question to reflect what your business need is, for example, or your business program is, or benefits. So for example, basic dental benefits. We can see that if you provided as a placeholder United Healthcare as who your dental insurance provider was, it automatically filled into our default answer. We can see that you have, a link to the carrier's website, a summary plan description link, etc. And this provider will change on January 23rd. Well, January 1st. So if you, want to add that in, if you want to remove that content, it's as simple as just making that edit there, hitting save, and now the answer is edited to your employees. So you as business users can edit, update, answer these questions at any time because this information changes dynamically. You may have also seen that things like benefits that change often, you have the ability to come in here and schedule an answer to go live in the future. So for all of our customers that were making changes to benefits, they can now do that within MeBeBot. And I just call it set it and forget it, because there's always lots of moving parts and pieces. A lot of these things change at the end of the year. Nobody wants to work on December 31st updating their benefits information. So you can get that done all in advance, right? So this is just showing you the plethora of content that MeBeBot has. We have content in a variety of category areas across the business. And what we also have, and I know there's some people that were interested in understanding, how do you manage content globally? Well, when an employee selects the country they're in, we again can populate any country that you may do business in our system, and it can all be managed in one simple view in global. So when I click on questions that are global, I can actually get a view into the types of questions that employees will receive based on where they live. So for example, benefits, let's take an example, a benefits summary, okay? I can click on this answer of benefits summary, and I can see that with people in multiple countries, they might have a different summary plan document. You can see that Canada's answer is different from Australia and US. And so this is the screen you would use to just simply manage the answers that the employee will receive no matter where they are across the globe. So it's really great to be able to manage the global answers all from one singular view. And we have a role we call the super admin, and those people are usually on top of what everyone is doing. However, you can have country-specific subject matter experts that can come into their individual country and also make the edits here, which will then appear still under that global view. So that's how easy it is to set up MeBeBot. Simply fill out placeholders, review the edited answers, save and launch, and you're ready to go. Now, to take MeBeBot one step further, we have the functionality of push messages, which allows you to have a whole new communication channel. And I know there's a person on the call, at least I know that it's very big into internal comms, and this is a huge area. How do you make sure employees are getting information that they actually receive and read? So being able to message them in Slack or Teams through MeBeBot is incredibly powerful. Many of our customers used it to send out messages about company reminders of meetings, viewing meetings later, A lot of our customers use this over open enrollment to alert people to due dates for benefits, etc. But it's as simple as choosing a date and time you want a push message to be sent. We can actually read Slack or Teams groups, distribution groups or channels. For example, if I were to go MeBeBot and I want to do, let's see, I'll just choose that test one. I now have a selected group that I want to send a message to. I can go to the next phase. We provided a bunch of sample templates that you can use that other customers love and use as well. Or you can provide a net new message on your own and create something custom. And again, the goal of push messaging is to be able to either upload a list, and you can also do that too, as a CSV file, use a current distribution list, and be able to send out targeted push messages to your employees. The other amazing feature is pulse surveys, because we don't only want to communicate, but we want to gather feedback from our people. We need to keep our finger on the pulse of how our employees are doing. And we do that through pulse surveys. So we have the ability to send out pulse surveys from MeBeBot very simply, like you did with the push messaging. Schedule them on a date and time, select a group, or upload a CSV file. And once those employees receive the pulse survey, dynamically, as they're responding to the survey, like I can choose this survey here, I can see the survey was sent out on November 14th to 13 people. 7 people responded and gave some feedback. And it was really driven to potential new managers who were asked to set up one-on-one meetings with their employees. And this is a way that we can follow up to see if that's happening. And so it's really great in the sense that we've had our customers report back to us that they have 70 to 80% participation on pulse surveys. So they're getting fabulous results from the pulse surveys. So all of this is part of why and how MeBeBot is unique and different, is that we not only automate answers to employee questions, but we're able to provide those answers to employees very quickly, giving you all the ability to get a solution out there that's accurate answers to employees. You have the ability to dynamically change the content at any time. You can leverage the push messaging and the pulse surveys to continue the adoption and engagement of employees of MeBeBot, and you'll be able to see all those results. You see the results on the dashboard. You get to see how many employees are asking questions. You get to get feedback from employees. You are able to see what their needs are so that you can more quickly identify and address them. And then lastly, it really fits into our whole pillars of what makes MeBeBot unique. And we, believe work should be meaningful. And in order for work to be meaningful, employees need to, we need to enable employees. We need to enable them to be more productive, providing them information when they need it, solving their problems, reducing frustration. We enrich their experience when we're able to communicate to them in real time, very targeted messages. We put these solutions in their flow of work, in the popular collaboration tools that they're likely to use all day long, like Slack and Teams. Using pulse surveys, we're able to engage with employees. We're able to understand their business needs, what they need help with, how we can better serve up information for them and support them to be successful. And all of this is just really empowering the individual employee to have control over their employee experience, giving them access 24/7 from wherever they are, because we know the world of work has changed. It's very dynamic and it's asynchronous, and we need to provide solutions that empower our employees, because when we do, we free up our own valuable time to be more successful and work on more strategic aspects of the business. So lastly, and then we'll leave it to some questions and answers if you all have them, but we'd love to hear from some of you who are on the call. We'd love to learn, what are you doing today, and what are your goals for your employee experience? I know it's kind of a big term that's been out there today. It's really looking at the employee holistically, using, all you can to help drive talent acquisition as well as retention, because it breeds healthy organizations that are more successful. I know today there's a lot of companies answering questions to employees manually. I get it. I've been there, but how do you handle that today? How can we show you how you could do that differently? Because frankly, if you're spending more than 1 hour a day on answering questions, that's too much time. And we can provide a quick ROI to prove that out to you. And again, communicating to employees, it's a noisy world out there, giving very different ways to get attention of employees, especially when it's pertaining to things that are under time constraints or important to the business or important to their well-being. Push messaging helps with that, but what else are you doing today? And how do you gather feedback? And then in return, we'd love to share with you how we're helping our customers today achieve success and freeing up valuable time, supporting their employees 24/7 from wherever they are across the globe. So I thank you for being here. I know our whole team does. We'd love to have a chance to meet with you.